Hi and welcome to my video, and today I'm going to be doing a book review of Little Women, and I'm also going to talk about its 2019 film adaptation. And so first I need to start off by saying that this is a thick boy and it does kind of have like smallish print, but I did get through it within like 2 weeks and I did enjoy every bit of it. So Little Women follows the lives of the four March sisters. You've got Meg, Jo, Beth and Amy, and then the boy next door, Laurie. And honestly, this story is just shows them when they're like little babies. I say babies, like think Meg is 16 at the beginning of the book, but then she's like 30 odd towards the end. And so basically it's just like their lives as teenagers becoming women, and like the title Good Wives is accurate to describe the second volume because they do become good little wives. Also this is set in the 1800s because their father is away fighting the American Civil War. It was also written in the 1800s, and so you know some of the ideals in here are a little outdated. I still liked reading about like some of the challenges and triumphs they had back then. And throughout the story the four girls really depend on their mother, and I really like it because it shows how like their mother is so like integral in their being, and it shows like little stories of how these little girls became little women. Quarter way in, they have a scene where the four sisters and Laurie create like these castles in the sky where they describe what they want their life to be. So Jo wanted to be an author, and she was like, yes, I want my life to be like in the future I want to be an author. And then Meg was like, I want to be married, I want to like have nice things. Amy wanted to be an artist, and I can't remember what Beth's was one. I don't even know if Beth had one. I think she just wanted to play piano. And so in Good Wives, all their little castles in the sky went out the window and they became good little wives. But no one's like bitter how their life didn't turn out what they thought it was going to turn out like, and everyone's like happy in like their new life, like not in their childhood fantasies but in their adulthood realities. And like really a lot of stuff happens. The first half just spans 1 year, but the second half spans quite a few years, and a lot of stuff happens in it. And I have noted down a few chapters that got me, and honestly I think there was 3 chapters in a row where it was like bam, this happened, you're like, oh no, that's so sad, and then this happens, you're like, oh no, it's about to be sad, and then it happens and then it's sad. That makes no sense. I don't want to give out too many spoilers, but I have to say it. I feel like this is a known thing, but Jo should have ended up with Laurie, but who she does end up with, you're happy for her. And honestly, I say this, I hate when best friends become like in a relationship, because you don't need that. Can't they just be best friends? And this book did it. They were just best friends, because when the first volume came out, all like the fans of it were like, oh, do Jo and Laurie get together? I hope they get together. And then Louisa May Alcott was like, no, I'm not writing that. Yes, I have to write her getting with someone, but I'm not having her be with Laurie. No, it's not happening. But oh, they were so good together. Like they were such good friends. They were such good people. But how it ends, I think how this book ends is like perfect. It shows them from when they're just struggling in their youth to succeeding in their adulthood, and how like all their lives as families, as homemakers, as workers, just as people, as human beings, and how they're all still so close, and just how everyone got something, like everyone had a happy life. Not the life they thought they were going to have, but everyone had a happy life. And so like this is actually a perfect book for like little girls to read growing up, because it does show like how childish games turn into realities, like real life adulthood realities. And I read somewhere where at the time this is published, so this was published, I don't know, 1868, I'm probably wrong there, but around that time, and apparently there weren't many books written by female authors for little girls in this time period. And so Louisa May Alcott was like, you know what, alright, yeah, sure, I'll write a book for little girls. And so yeah, I think this does deserve the literary title of being a classic, or an American classic, since it's set in America, written by an American author. But I did really like this book. And yeah, so basically down to a few words, this book is all about like sisterhood and family and togetherness, and it's so wholesome and heartwarming. And now I'm going to talk about its 2019 film adaptation. I have been waiting to watch this film so long, and I think I watched it about a week ago, and I loved every second of it. I first need to just say the cast, amazing, honestly perfect. That was part of the reason why I wanted to watch this film. And then I read the book and I was so intrigued how the hell they was going to fit like everything like they needed to fit from the book in the film. And honestly, so much happens in the book, but it's only like a 2-hour film, so you can't fit everything in, but everything they needed to fit in, they fit in, and some of the things they couldn't fit in made other things like not feel so like good, you know, like not like hitting as hard. So the 2019 film adaptation was directed by Greta Gerwig, and she did some bold steps in making this film. So it wasn't told in like a linear sequence, so it wasn't in like chronological events how it happens in the book, and so it switched between past and present, and I was confused thinking like, because it opens up with the scene where Amy meets Laurie in, I have no idea where they are, France, abroad somewhere in Europe, I can't remember where, and then it switched back to like Joe waking up on Christmas Day at how it is at the beginning of the book. And so I was like, oh, okay. I was confused at first, and I thought someone who hasn't read the book is also going to be confused, but as like the film went on, the people I watched it with, my family, like they like understood it. And so present day was in like dark tones, whereas past with the flashbacks was in all bright colours, and the cinematography was beautiful. I love when things are pretty, and it was so like in keeping with the time, as well as having like all this modern technologies like make it come to life. And how it has past and present day like running next to each other, you can see like the impact of like childhood on adulthood, or the other way around, like why is this so significant because this happened. It really did like encapsulate childhood fantasies compared to adulthood realities, and that was basically like my main takeaway from the book. And then they had that just like bam straight in your face in the film, so you understood it, like you were there, and it had all the scenes in the book that I wanted to have it in. We got to talk about casting. The main reason I wanted to watch this film was because bam in the trailer, Saoirse Ronan right in your face, and I just love her. All these people, beautiful cast, beautiful acting, amazing portrayals in the film. Honestly, I love Joe. In the book I love Joe, always wanted to be a Joe, realised I was a Beth. In the book, Amy is so annoying, but in the film, because I feel like they didn't ponder too much time on everyone, like in the book, like each chapter focuses on like a character, or like, you know, here and there, like each character gets like the same, each sister gets like their lives, whereas in the film I felt like it felt more like it was from Joe's point of view, like it was Joe's perspective, but that meant that Amy wasn't as annoying, and I did like Amy like so much more in the film. So it was like book Joe, book Amy, film Joe, and then like film Amy, like she's so close. And so the film ending, I actually preferred it to the book ending. I mean, I absolutely loved the book ending, but the film ending gave off so many like parallels to Louisa May Alcott's life, and so it's pretty much known or speculated that the book Little Women is based on Louisa's real life, and the life of her and her sisters, and like little stories about them, like what they're up to. And so the film ending gave off so many parallels to Louisa's actual life, and so Joe in the film felt more like Louisa, like the actual author, whereas the book isn't. Like they're two separate characters, and maybe that's why Joe was a more strong character, because she was pretty much Louisa wanted to be an author, you know. The whole ending sequence where Joe is in like this massive hysteria of writing, where she got all these pages out, she's going to get her book published, I just loved it. And then when you can see like the actual process of getting like the words on the page, like all those little like stamps, and then getting it sewn, and then, you know, getting like the cover on and handing it to Joe, and she's holding that book, and every writer's dream, can you tell? And so yeah, I just found that really cute is what I'm going to say. And so the film is literally just a perfect film adaptation of the book, and I have to say that this film adaptation is better than the book. I preferred the 2019 film version of Little Women to the book. Oh, I said it. Because literally every character is so much better in the book, although people don't have like their screen time, so scenes with like the sisters and the Marmee, like you needed that, like you needed a few more of that. You needed Joe spending time with the professor a bit more, so you know why like they're together, like that hits a bit more. And like the relationship between Beth and Laurie's granddad, Mr. Laurence, in the book is so like cute and precious, and like you needed a bit more of that in the film to make like Beth's character that more. Every character but Joe and Laurie just needed a bit more airtime, but what they had was good. And so I have some of my favourite lines from each sister. I can't remember if these were in the book or not, but in the film this is what's said. So my favourite line that Beth says is in the scene where Joe takes Beth to the sea, and she says,
"It's like the tide going out. It goes out slowly, but it can't be stopped." I'll stop it.
Honestly, Beth, you needed more airtime, you needed more lifetime. And then Amy's, and honestly just that whole speech about the economy of marriage.
Well, I'm not a poet. I'm just a woman.
Made her that 100% less annoying, and I really hope that's in the book, so her book self is less annoying as well.
They would be his property, so don't sit there and tell me that marriage isn't an economic proposition, because it is.
And then Meg snapping back at Jo on her wedding day.
Just because my dreams are different than yours doesn't mean they're unimportant.
And honestly, Jo's whole speech, you know the speech. Women! That whole speech, I was like, yes, Jo. Yes, Jo.
Women, they have minds and they have souls as well as just hearts, and they've got ambition and they've got talent as well as just beauty. And I'm so sick of people saying that love is just all a woman is fit for. I'm so sick of it. But I'm so lonely.
And so yeah, that's my review of the Little Women book, as well as a slight comparison and film review of the film, the 2019 film adaptation. And so I gave the book like a 4 out of 5 because it's such a feel-good book. It has a perfect ending and it's all about like family, friendship, love, sisterhood, and like the film is a 5 out of 5 because perfect casting, perfect cinematography, perfect portrayal of the book, for perfect adaptation. If you like this video, please leave it a like and comment down below any quotes from the book or your favourite scenes from the film, and subscribe for more. I do other bookish things, book reviews, TV show reviews, film reviews, and all stuff like that. Thanks for watching. Bye!